We got any football fans out here? Yeah, of course. We always do. I don't give a shit about football. But I know that's kind of crazy to hear a guy say that. You know, it's kind of like the equivalent of hearing about a prostitute that doesn't give oral sex. It's just something you don't hear about very often. Anyways, I think every straight guy should have at least one gay friend, simply because you never know when you're going to get that opportunity to go ahead and make fun of them and get away with it. You know, you can do it in general to somebody, but then you're just being a dick. But if it's your friend, it's okay. I'll give you a prime example. I was working at a nursing home down in Texas, and on Thanksgiving we had all the patients making pies and stuff like this. And all of a sudden, my friend Anthony, he comes over. I said, Anthony, why don't you have a piece of pie? You know, everybody's eating. There's more than enough. And he says to me, he goes, oh, I don't really like pie. I was like, oh shit, he did not just say that. So of course I was like, I said, how could I forget? Well, I said, well, maybe next time we can, you know, make some strudel or something, and you can have a lick. Taste of that. You know, it sounds like most of you got that out there, but if you didn't get that, strudel references for the dick, and we all know what pie means, I hope. So, how about the phrase "a steaming pile of shit"? Has anybody ever thought about that? I thought about that the other day when I've been taking my dog out every morning as usual, but I've noticed more, even when the weather changes, her shit in the morning only, it steams. Literally, steam comes from her shit. So I decided to go, you know, I got a little curious, and I was like, does this work with humans too? Well, let me just give you a word of advice, okay? The only thing that was steaming was the old lady after I shit in her bush, okay?
Well, my day job, I do occupational therapy, okay? And I was working in Texas. I had this patient that I worked with for a few months. The last day I'm with him, he says, hey man, because I always had the bald head going on usually. He says, man, when you first came in, Hispanic man it was, he says, when you first came into the room, he goes, when you left, I said to my wife, oh man, he's going to be talking about white power this and white power that. I looked over at him, and I was like, is he serious? And he was serious. So folks, you know what I told him? I said, no shit. I said, when I walked out of your room, I started thinking to myself, oh man, I'm going to be smelling farts all the time because I know he's going to be eating beans every day. How many of y'all lock your doors around here? You guys lock your doors? Yeah? I lock my doors all the time, okay? Especially when I'm driving, okay? I don't care if you're a crackhead or a Girl Scout coming up to my car, alright? I'm locking my doors. Cookies or crack, I don't care, alright? Stay the fuck back.
That's good. How many of y'all remember your first job, the day on your first job? Well, from the last response, probably a lot of you can't remember what the hell you did yesterday, I guess, at this point. I remember my first job was at McDonald's. I was 15 years old, right? And it was Saturday morning. For some reason, my buddy thought it'd be a good idea to smoke a joint before I went in. So I did. And I get up there. They got me doing the easiest job in the whole place, right? The second drive-through window, okay? I don't even have to bag up the food. All I have to do is make the drinks, right? Pretty simple. Probably about 20 minutes into it, I start getting complaints. Apparently, I was giving people cups of soda without the ice. Now, I don't know how damn high you gotta be, but apparently I was that high. That's about like the equivalent of a janitor going to clean up the spill and he forgets the mop bucket, you know what I'm saying? And of course the people outside the drive-thru window are thinking one of two things. Either one, where the hell did they get this crackhead? Or two, oh that's nice that McDonald's is still hiring the mentally challenged. This is for you guys out there. You ever been in the middle of sex and the woman says something that you just do not want to hear? I bet you 20 bucks I can top every one of you in here. True story, I can't make this up, swear to God. First time with this girl, we're in the middle of sex, and all of a sudden she looks up at me with a straight ass face. She says, you know, if you don't call me again, I'll cut your dick off right now. Two things are going through your mind, okay? One, you're either going to go limp real quick, or two, you're going to forget about that shit for the time being and keep on pumping away. So, of course, I'm a guy, I did the latter, okay? But let me tell you, at the end of that, I was like, you need a wake-up call, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., what time do you need? Okay? Because let me tell you, folks, I didn't forget about Lorraine and Bobbitt, okay? I didn't know if there's some fan site out there or whatever, and I didn't want to end up with my Johnson as pick of the week, you know what I mean?
Kids, I'm holding on to the pole there, and I feel a little nudge in my leg. like, what the hell? I look down thinking it's gonna be a kid. Sure enough, I see this little midget girl, and she's like, excuse me, Poppy, I need to practice for tonight. A little stripper girl, right? So she needs a little time on the pole. All right, so she's like, can I get a little room? So I was like, shit, that enough? That's all I need, right? So then anyways, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna hinder her because, you know, being in Puerto Rico, a stripper pole, it's not like the US where, you know, every girl can have a recreational stripper pole at a fair price, you know what I mean? And of course, she's got to probably work twice as hard to get ahead above the rest of the strippers. Alright. I don't quite feel the same way about my first love anymore, right? Some of you guys might even know her. You know, her name is Rosie Palmer. Yeah. That's right, ladies, if you don't know what I'm talking about masturbation. You know, jacking the Johnson, slapping the snake, stroking the turtle, that sort of thing. Right? So, as I'm walking towards my bed, I come to a halt, or an abrupt stop for you less educated people. And what I see is a very large in circumference liquid circle on my bed sheets. Very large in circumference. I don't use that word very often, but that's what it was. So anyways, I'm a person that doesn't like to assume things, and I like to use my senses. So this is kind of about what happened next, right?
Yeah, they were laughing.
What the fuck? This bitch pissed my bed? Are you kidding me? Who the hell does that shit? She pissed my bed? You know, I was pacing back and forth like a motherfucker. I couldn't believe that shit. I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't, you know, who's prepared for that? Forget a puddle of piss. This was a pond of piss. Alright? I wasn't ready for this situation. You know, I didn't have a piss-resistant cover on it. I didn't have children or nothing. They don't tell you that. There's no commercial to tell you that. There should be a commercial that tells you that. Should be a commercial that says, get your piss-resistant cover. Not only for the child that wets the bed, but also for that one-night stand for the girl that can't control her bladder and alcohol at the same time. Don't be sorry. It's not always good when a girl gets wet in your bed. Right? But they don't have that. So guys, all I gotta tell you, if it's the first time and you're unsure, take it to the floor, because trust me when I tell you, a little rug burn is gonna be better than a soiled mattress, okay? Alright, I don't normally tell one-liners, and this is the first time I'm ever going to tell this on stage, and depending on how many moans I get, it might be the only. But before I tell you this joke, I want to tell you that I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy for a while, right? But now I have to tell you, due to the settlement, that I was never inappropriately touched by any of the priests. Okay, now that being said, here's the joke. Alright, what's the difference between acne and a Catholic priest? Acne waits until a boy's 13 before he comes on his face. Alright, thank you guys very much. I'm Ryan K.I. Have a good night.